When you log in, your screen should look like this if you have administrator access. You'll need administrator access to be able to create a new incident. County and tribal emergency managers typically will have administrator access. To start a new incident, select Create next to where it says New Incident. Next, enter the name you want to use for the incident. For a real-life incident, if you're doing a real PDA, we prefer that you use the year, followed by the month, followed by the type of incident for the name. Leave the status as active and then choose the type from the drop-down. You won't have the disaster number yet until we receive a federal disaster declaration, so you can leave that blank. And you can also leave the PAID number and the description blank. Then select Next Settings. The population autofills based on the most recent census of your jurisdiction. The FEMA factor is the average dollar amount per resident in your jurisdiction that needs to be met for your jurisdiction to be eligible if there's a federal declaration. Please don't change that number, as it will be updated by the State Office of Emergency Management. You don't need to change the employee records threshold or the equipment records threshold. Then select Next Employees. If you had already previously added employees to your jurisdiction, you would see them here. If you haven't, that's fine, they can be added later. Go ahead and choose Next Equipment. If you already added equipment to your jurisdiction, it should show up here. If you haven't, again, that's okay, you can add it later. Select Next Teams. Any teams that were already created would show up here. If you also want to add a default team, go ahead and check the default team box. If there are no other teams added, a default team will be created whether you check the box or not. Then choose Next Tasks. If there are tasks created for your jurisdiction already, they will be here. If you also want to add a default task, you can check the default task box. If there are no other tasks, then a default task will be created whether the box is checked or not. Now select Next Guest Users. On this page, you can give access to the incident to any guest users who you have already added to your jurisdiction. Then choose Next Map Layers. On this page, you can choose to include the National Flood Hazard Layer if you want to include it as a layer option for this incident. You can also choose to add the other map layers that you have previously added for your jurisdiction. Now select Finish in the upper right corner. Now the incident you just created will show up in the drop-down box and it will be active. If you want to close the incident, you'll need to select Administrative Functions. Then choose Incidents in the upper left. Then on the right, choose Edit. Now you can change the status to Closed and then save it. If it's closed, it doesn't show up in the existing incident drop-down box. Then other users can't go into the incident. To reopen it, select Administrative Functions again. Choose Incidents again. Then select Edit. Then change the status back to Active and save it. Then if you go back to the home page, you can see that the incident is reopened.